Finally, they've gone and done it. They've taken the world's most overused adjective, sometimes noun, for the lazy and prone to hyperbole of us who can't think of any other word that also means good. And they've used it in a game title. Awesome is the word, and Awesomenauts is the game. Awesomenauts falls into the MOBA category of video games, multiplayer online battle arena, and it joins games like Dota, League of Legends, Heroes of Newerth, in a genre that's getting so big you can't ignore it now. Many new takes on the genre are coming out, its spearheading games is free to play, and the biggest prizes in competitive gaming are being given out in this genre. It's becoming as big as classic genres such as RTS. But Awesomenauts is aiming for a 2D take on the genre. With galactic factions warring over mineral resources, it's your job to take out your rival corporation's massive drill. And you start to get the feeling this mining magnate doesn't really care about your well-being.
The drill is always protected by large turrets.
Hot digging in them cannons look mighty big!
But who minds taking orders from an alien Clive Palmer as long as you get paid, right? At first glance, it seems like a watered-down, kiddie version of Dota. But upon further inspection, it's a watered-down, kiddie version of Dota. But that's okay, we can do kiddie. The real question is it awesome or awesome not? The idea here is to push towards the enemy base along with AI-controlled minions, taking out towers as you go. The towers are strong, so you'll want to fall back to the support of your minions before you attack. Most MOBA games have different lanes you can push with their own towers, and it's up to you and your teammates to push towers together, and when you can, gang up on the other team to get a few kills. And just because Awesomenauts is 2D doesn't mean it's without this, it's just taking its different lanes vertically. AI minions will still attack along the different paths, and you can still try and surprise an enemy champion with a stun and outnumber him. There are even cute little versions of MOBA tropes such as jungling and hiding in the tall grass. When it comes to the champions of Awesomenauts, there aren't very many of them, more are promised, but you're never going to see the 50, 60, 70 of other games. Awesomenauts falls more into the demigod school of thinking, where you have very few characters, but they each have different upgrade paths. Depending on which way you go, you'll play that character very differently. There's nothing wrong with that, but while most people will see less characters as a minus, we actually see it as a strength of the game. Heroes are nicely balanced, from the burst damage to the tank to the healer. They've done a good job making sure no one hero is too awesome. Although it has to be said, balance is easy when things are this simple. So it's baby's first MOBA. That's not a bad thing, right? Well, it's not just simpler for design reasons like being 3v3 as opposed to 5v5. There's some features that you'd expect from the MOBA genre that are missing, and it makes it hard to take seriously. For example, there doesn't seem to be a penalty for leaving a match, which in a game as long as this is a problem. If someone gets fed up that they're losing and they leave, then you're stuck with a bot. The bot AI is good, but it's just not the same. We also noticed the limited space of Awesomenauts meant there weren't as many opportunities for teammates to work together, combining their abilities, which is kind of the point in games like this. And that brings us to endgame. So putting the word awesome in the title doesn't make it so, and just because it's on XBLA's big mid-year release timing doesn't make it a must-buy. We don't really want to be too hard on it because it is kind of fun, and it's your only option in terms of MOBA gaming on console at the moment. It's just hard not to note its inferiority when stood next to its peers. If PC gaming is an option for you, then there are better, more feature-rich alternatives for free.